Welcome back, Curry Crew. Today we're going to be making a delicious homemade pho. Now, what is pho? Pho is a traditional Vietnamese noodle soup, and it's actually the national dish of Vietnam. Now, is our recipe going to be super traditional or the exact way they make it back home in Vietnam? No, probably not. However, is it going to be delicious? Absolutely. So, without any further ado, let's jump into our video. So for our pho, the first step that we need to take is take a deep saucepan and add to it 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. Next, turn on the stove to about low to medium heat and allow your oil to heat up. Once your oil is hot enough, to this we're going to add in 8 tablespoons of our mirepoix, or about half a cup. Mirepoix is just a fancy term for a mixture made from equal parts carrot, celery, and onion. Give it a nice mix, and let it cook out until your veggies start to become a bit softer. Then to this, we're going to add in 1 cup of finely chopped white or porcini mushrooms. Once again, give it a nice mix, and let it cook until your onions are translucent or transparent and your mushrooms have shrunk and become nice and soft. You may not love the taste of mushrooms, like me, but in this recipe, the mushrooms add a really nice taste to our broth that can only be described as umami, or like the 5th component of taste. After about 5 to 10 minutes, our veggies should be ready, and to this we're going to add in 4 cloves of minced garlic, or you can use a garlic press like I'm doing here. Basically, you just want to chop your garlic as finely as possible, and then we are going to do the same with a 1-inch piece of ginger and add that into our veggie mix as well. Give it a nice mix, and then let it cook for a few minutes. What we're doing here is we're developing the base flavors for our broth, which will be the main component of our final dish. Next to this, we're going to add in salt and pepper to taste. Start with small amounts, taste, and then add more if needed. Remember, you can always add more salt if needed, but you can't remove salt from a final dish. Cook the mixture for a few minutes and then add to it 1 finely chopped dried red chili. This will add the spice component to the salt and umami components of flavor that we've already added, with our carrots and onions providing some sweetness. This final dish would have all aspects of flavor that one could want. Give it 1 more mix, and then finally we're going to add in 1 32-ounce carton of vegetable stock, or roughly 4 cups. Give it a nice mix, and bring to a gentle boil. Next, take a cheesecloth and add to it 4 to 5 bay leaves, 4 to 5 star anise, and 7 to 8 cloves, and then tie it up into a little ball. We will then add this little spice ball into our broth. The reason we're using a cheesecloth is that so after about 15 to 20 minutes, we can take it out of the broth. This will allow it to impart all of the amazing flavors of the spices into the broth, but it won't leave behind any pieces or particles. After 15 minutes, remove the spice ball from your broth, and your broth is pretty much ready. So next, into a mixing bowl, add in 2 to 3 portions of narrow rice noodles and pour boiling water over them. You can adjust the amount of noodles you take depending on how many noodles you want for each bowl. Let the noodles sit in the boiling water for 2 to 3 minutes. After a minute, give the noodles a quick stir to separate them and ensure that they don't just stick together and form a giant clump. After about 3 minutes, you can strain the noodles, and the time has come for us to start plating up our final dish. So into a bowl, add in your desired amount of noodles, and then you can generously add in your delicious broth that you've made. The more the merrier. Next come our toppings. So for our version, we're adding in some pieces of sauteed tofu, some diced bell peppers, some diced jalapeno, some bean sprouts, and finally some green onions or scallions for garnish. And there you have it, guys. Our homemade version of pho is ready for us to enjoy and dig into. It smells absolutely amazing, and I'm sure it's going to taste awesome as well. So guys, hope you enjoyed the recipe. This recipe is perfect for a cold winter's day when you want a really nice, hearty, warm soup to fill your belly and, warm you up on the inside. So try it out at home, let us know what you think, and keep on cooking.